What's up, good people? It's Chris with the Fat Black Girl, and today we are discussing a topic that has been a little bit difficult for me to record. I actually did a previous video and I didn't like it, and my spirit about it came out in the video. That it's just a topic that really gets me down, just to be honest. We're going to discuss the ignored black woman, right? And it's a tough subject, it's a controversial subject, and it bothers me that it's controversial, quite frankly. But before we get into all of that, if you are new here, thank you. Before we go any further, I just want you to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. If you want to see more content about being fat, black, and female in this world, then stay tuned. So recently, there have been a lot of protests and progression of the movement, and all of that is wonderful. I think it's great, but I do feel that the black woman has been and continues to be ignored throughout the community and throughout the movement. Unfortunately, it took the death of Breonna Taylor to kind of highlight the fact that black women are being killed too. Black women are being mistreated too. And while we die at a rate that's lower than black men at the hands of police, we are still dying at an alarming rate. And there have been things that I've experienced in my personal life and things that I've watched my friends experience that just punctuate this point of the ignored and forgotten black woman, because I believe the mentality is that black women are so strong, you can take anything, you can take everything, and you can balance it all and do it all, and that's just not true. And I'm grateful that we have the Breonna Taylor law, that the no-knock warrants will no longer be in effect, that was the cause of her being killed. But we're still dying, and black women are still being ignored. Black women are unprotected, and it's a sad reality. I could quote a ton of facts and statistics and whatnot, and I'll interject a few, but black women are pretty much the most unprotected group. Black women die at a higher rate than any other women group or female group in the world, at the hands of police, at the hands of our partners, at the hands of doctors, negligent doctors. And it's really scary that we have to be the most resilient group. We have to be the most innovative group, the most nurturing group, and we are the ones that are left the most vulnerable. I was reading as I was researching the video, because I don't want to ever just come out and spew a lot of opinion. There might be some times where I do that, but I was researching to make sure that what I was saying was more than just my own feeling and experience as a black woman. And I came across some really alarming statistics. You know, over 20% of black women have experienced rape or sexual assault. That's insane to me. Almost a quarter of the black women in this world have experienced sexual assault or rape. That's a lot. A quarter? I do know women who have been sexually assaulted and who were molested as little girls, who hold the secrets of dirty old uncles or grandfathers or mama's boyfriend or the new uncle that just moved in, and it adds to the trauma of being black in this world and female. To that point, trans women are beaten and killed, mutilated, and left for dead at just staggering rates. And regardless of your belief about transgender people, no one deserves to die because you disagree with what they have chosen to live as their truth. Period, point blank. I firmly hold to the belief that if you have a problem with the phrase, all Black lives matter, because you don't want to include transgender Black people, then you have assumed the mentality of the oppressor. Tell me why a transgender woman's life is less important than a cisgender woman's life, than a Black man's life, than a white woman's life. Tell me why their life is less important and why we should fight for it less than the Black men that we fight for. There's another statistic that 40% or more of Black women experience violence at the hand of their partners. And it is sad that I was not surprised by that statistic. And it speaks to the fact that in heterosexual relationships, Black man is battered by the world all day, every day. He has to take shit from employers. He has to take shit from hot-headed cops. He has to take shit from the world, and all of that aggression builds. And it has to have an outlet. And unfortunately, that outlet is his partner. I know it's not every case. I'm aware of that. I was raised by a phenomenal Black man. I am married to a phenomenal Black man. My brother is an amazing Black man. So I get it's not every Black man. Not all Black men beat their partners. There are some that do. That's just the ugly truth. There are some that do. And the sad part is, Black women, cis and trans women, go out into this world and we take shit from our employers. We take shit from hot-headed cops. We take shit from being Black and female in this world, and we come home and re-nurture our family. It's not surprising, but it's still really sad. And so what happens is this poisoning of the Black family. And the Black woman has to balance abuse, sexual trauma, and raising the community. And we do it. And so people ignore our pain, and we swallow our pain. We don't express our pain. And that is sad. Black women are traumatized. So after the Black woman has dealt with sexual abuse or violence, after the Black woman has dealt with physical and emotional abuse at the hands of her partner, after they've dealt with being beaten or killed for being trans or cisgendered by police or whomever, that creates trauma. And we wear that trauma. We wear it in our bodies. We wear it in our spirit. We wear it in our minds. And we don't have a moment to have a moment. We don't get a moment to have a breakdown. And the trauma we wear, it comes out in cancer. It comes out in mental instability. It comes out in anger, and that's where you get the angry Black woman syndrome, right? Where, we're neck waving and finger waving and it's unfair because we have every right to be angry. Black women fight harder than any other woman group for their male counterparts. Most of the people you see fueling movements are Black women. That's just the truth. Black Lives Matter, we know, was started by women. The Say Her Name movement was started by a group which was started by Black women and women of color. Shirley Chisholm, Black woman. Fannie Lou Hamer, Black woman. Tamika Mallory, Black woman. The Black women, I'm not saying we do it all. I'm not saying we run it alone, but the Black women energy moves and fuels movements. And we do so wearing trauma. It's not just that we are killed, but after our Black men are killed, we have to take on the mantle of raising children that have been left and traumatized themselves. Black women also experience trauma from holding secrets of child molestation. And I know women personally, who are holding on to secrets because they don't want to disrupt the family. That creates trauma, and it creates the mentality that everyone else's feelings and well-being is more important than yours, and that is what kills Black women. Black women still do the work. So I mentioned earlier that movements are created and fueled by Black women. Not only that, the village is created and nurtured by the Black woman. And we work until we're dead for our community, for our families, all the while swallowing our pain, all the while pushing and supporting our Black men, oftentimes without that being reciprocated, and it kills you. It's tough to go through that. So what am I saying? We don't want to compete with Black men for space in the movement. We don't want to compete with Black men for acceptance in the village and in the family, because we've had to do it all on our own for a number of circumstances that were outside of our control or the control of the Black man. So this is not a competition. It is simply to say, hey, we're still here. We're still struggling. Don't forget about us. We're the life source of the village. One of my favorite movies is Spike Lee's Malcolm X. And in that movie, when Malcolm is courting Betty, he explains Elijah Muhammad's thought process on men and women dating and why it's so important for Black women to be nurtured. And he says that Black women hold our seed, right? We carry the babies, and we are the initial contact that baby has with the world. We are the first teacher of that child about how they will move throughout this world. So it's important that the Black woman is healthy, is stable, is supported, because the Black woman is the first teacher of the village. And it pains me to see that the police that murdered Breonna Taylor still haven't been arrested. It pains me to see that the murderers of trans women go on and live their lives because people support that. Like, well, she shouldn't have lied, and it's okay because people lose their life. No, there is no reason that someone should lose their life because you disagree with how they're living their life. It's important that Black women have the mental support, the emotional support, the physical support, the familial support to sustain this community. So Black men, it is up to you to break down the patriarchal oppression that rests in this community, in this village. It breaks my heart to be an ignored Black woman from my own community. And we have to do better. Black men, you owe us better. You owe us more. It is difficult living in a world that constantly beats you down. and then you come into your community and you're ignored. We are so busy nurturing and caring for and living and raising and cleaning and cooking and schooling and educating that we forget to take care of ourselves, and we forget to command that we are taken care of by our community and by our village. So if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe, comment, rate, share, and until the next time, we'll see you later. Bye.